By now, you've probably seen the news story saying that Microsoft has confirmed that Xbox Game Pass cannibalizes sales. I do think that there's some additional context not being discussed here. So, like most people, what I like to do, well, okay, maybe not like most people, apparently. I like to go to the document and read all context to one given statement. Everybody is latched on to the CMA one sentence statement about how sales decline after 12 months. Let's read it and go over it together. GamesIndustry.biz is a great outlet, first of all. Let's read what they said here. They said, Microsoft confirms Game Pass cannibalizes sales. Now, when we go read the statement, I think there's either something I'm not understanding, because when I read the full context, I think they're just saying what happens to any game that's been on the market for 12 months. But let's read what Games Industry says here. Xbox maker tells UK CMA it expects titles to see a decline in base game sales for at least a year following inclusion into subscription service. Let's read what the document actually said really quick. So here's the entirety of the statement. It's on page 59 of 277. This is the full document that we're looking at here. It says, Microsoft also submitted that Xbox telemetry data shows that gamers frequently switch between the two payment options. In particular, Microsoft submitted that based on this data, I'm going to pause there for a second. Yes, sometimes people will buy full games. Sometimes people will continue subscribing to Game Pass and play via that method, or they'll unsubscribe for Game Pass when there's not good deals there. We saw that about a year ago when there were a lot of unsubscriptions because people felt like, well, there's not a lot happening in 2022. And that, if that's what you feel, that's saving money. I totally get that. That's very smart. So point A, between X% and Y% of Xbox gamers continue playing games purchased on a buy-to-play basis in the 12 months after unsubscribing from Game Pass. Between blank percent and blank percent of gamers purchase a game on a buy-to-play basis within a year after unsubscribing from Game Pass. So let's read that again. Some percentage of gamer continue playing on a buy-to-play basis in the 12 months after unsubscribing for Game Pass. That means they would have had to purchase the game and then continue playing after 12 months. And then there's a percentage of gamers who purchase a game on a buy-to-play basis within the 12 months after unsubscribing from Game Pass. So they purchase the game, they unsubscribe from Game Pass, and that's how they continue their gaming experience. Gamers that subscribe to Game Pass mix and match across games irrespective of how they paid for them. Microsoft submitted figures on the gamers who spent at least X% of their total game time on Halo Infinite in the month following release. According to Microsoft, these figures show that while these gamers' total game time increases as a result of their engagement with the new Halo release, both buy-to-play game time on other games and Game Pass game time fall. So, both buy-to-play game time on other games, because you're playing Halo Infinite, and Game Pass game time fall. If you're playing your Game Pass game time with Halo Infinite, then you don't really have time to submit to other games. So my reading of that is that they're busy playing Halo Infinite, right? I'm kind of going over this live because, like, according to Microsoft, these figures show that gamers who play that game increases their overall game time. However, their Game Pass and buy-to-play game time on other game declines. Yeah, of course. If you're playing Halo Infinite, you're not playing another game because that's the game that you're playing for that month. So of course that's what's going to happen. Like, that just seems logical to me. That is really strange. Okay. And here's the one that everybody latched onto. Blank percent of Game Pass customers who had been subscribed to Game Pass for 6 months or more had bought games on a buy-to-play basis during that period. So if they're subscribed to Game Pass, they will usually end up buying a game during that period of time within the 6 months. So Game Pass does convert a lot of people to sales. And I might put an edit in this video so I can bring up the charts that I have, which they did from GDC a while back, where they showed the percentage of people and how their game time increases, how they buy more games, etc., etc. So I found the old video from when Sarah Bond was having this conversation, and Game Pass members play 40% more titles after joining Game Pass. That was one of the analytics that they jumped into. Members try new games, 30% try new genres, a 30-day average. Existing games, there's a 90-day average. And then if you continue looking through that video, they also said this during the GDC talk. Game Pass broadens the funnel for gamers. The distribution of player lift, recent Game Pass back catalog titles, 90 days versus pre-post entry. So they're just showing that more people are playing more games. Game Pass broadens the funnel for day and date games. So 3.5 times more people have played a game in the first 30 days, daily active users. And for ID at Xbox, it's 15 times more monthly active users in the first 90 days. So more exposure for your games. They invest more in their experience. Gamers spend 50% more than lookalike users. So 60% more on the games, 45% more on add-ons, 45% more on consumables. And this is from GDC not that long ago. This is from GDC 2022. And it also says there's more ways to drive value, so it can be engagement, acquisition, or monetization. And this is just from an old video that I made last year that I'll link to in the description below. The final set, it looks like Game Pass has contributed to the growth of independent developers and publishers. So you can see in 2016, their base 100, it looks like there has been a growth in independent triple-digit growth for their pay-to-play titles when comparing to prior launches of Game Pass. So long story short, there's more to dive into, and I'm going to splice this into the video, so let's jump back to Destin in the past. And here's the statement I was talking about. Microsoft also submitted that its internal analysis shows a blank % decline in base game sales 12 months following their addition on Game Pass. So does that mean after 12 months there's less sales, or during the 12 months there are fewer sales on a game because it's on Game Pass? Now, there's a few things to take into our brains reading that statement, right? First of all, if it's been added to Game Pass for 12 months, that developer has been paid with the Game Pass money, basically, and there will still be sales of that product, but it might be fewer sales, which has been supplemented with the Game Pass revenue, which we've known about. And Microsoft actually responded to all these articles, and here's what Microsoft said. A lot of people are saying this contradicts statements made previously. The claim appears to contradict previous statements by Xbox boss Phil Spencer back in 2018, where he said that titles like Forza Horizon 4 coming to Game Pass lead to increased sales of the game, not fewer. Here's that previous quote in full. When you put a game like Forza Horizon 4 on Game Pass, you instantly have more players of the game, which is actually leading to more sales of the game, Spencer said in 2018. You say, well, isn't everyone just going to subscribe for $10 and go play this thing? But no, gamers find things to play based on what everybody else is playing. Now, I think it was Forza Horizon 5 that had an early access period where if you pre-ordered the game, then you were able to get in a little bit earlier. Everybody else sort of played on Game Pass. Forza Horizon 4 was one of the first games I actually played on Game Pass. Great game. And he said that it seems like people who are subscribed to Game Pass end up buying that because they want to just own it outright. And I think you get some perks for purchase in Forza Horizon 4. Now, we're going to read Microsoft's statement to the cannibalization of sales here in just a second. But if you like these types of videos, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. If like 10% of you hit subscribe right now, I would hit my goal of 10,000 subscribers right now. So please consider it, and thank you for watching. Now, here's what Microsoft said. Here's their response to all these stories. Xbox Game Pass offers gamers and game creators more choice and opportunity in how they discover, experience, and deliver games, an Xbox spokesperson told Eurogamer in response today. For gamers, that means providing another option for them to discover games and play with friends at a great value. For developers, that means creating another option for how they monetize their games. We're focused on helping game creators of all sizes maximize the total financial value they receive through Game Pass. Each game is unique, So we work closely with creators to build a custom program to reflect what they need, ensure they are compensated financially for their participation in the service, and allow room for creativity and innovation. As a result, the number of developers interested in working with Game Pass continues to grow. Now, there's actually no denial there about fewer sales during the 12-month period. But when I read that original statement, let's look at it again. Microsoft also submitted that its internal analysis shows a % decline in base game sales 12 months following their addition on Game Pass. I believe that's because it's on Game Pass, you play it for free, so there is a decline in sales, but the developer has been compensated for that expectation with Game Pass money. So the money is still going to the developer. But maybe since 2008, the statistic has changed and there is a decline in game sales for the first 12 months. And then when it's removed from Game Pass, that's probably when you convert to sales. Now, if you've watched this far, that is the whole story. That's what everybody's been talking about. And I would love to hear your thoughts on the story in the comments below. I think with the additional context, it does make sense. And I'm not really trying to sugarcoat it. If there is a decline in game sales, I believe that that is compensated by Game Pass revenue and the deal that is made with Microsoft. Microsoft has said that developers can say, well, okay, I want to be paid based on game time, or I want to be paid this way, in addition to a percentage of sales. And they talk about how they come up with unique situations or unique compensation situations for each developer. I could probably get a phrase that better, but you get what I'm saying. So, okay, like even if there is a decline in base game sales for 12 months after it's on Game Pass, the developer is still made whole. We get a great deal. To me, that sounds great. I don't know about you. There was one other statement in here that I actually wanted to cover. So check this out. We note that several AAA games currently make most of their sales in the first 12 months after release. So for the first year, most games sell most of their copies, right? So developers, when they're making their deal with Game Pass, have to make sure that they're compensated fairly, and that's sort of a decision for each of them to make uniquely. So that's my thoughts on the whole thing. I don't really have like a ringer here at the end, except to say thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when content goes live. Thank you so much for watching this far. Thank you so much to the members. Members, thank you so much for supporting all these fine people. If you want to become a member right down there, you can. And I post all these videos with no ads for the members. Well, back to the quotes. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you for the next one.